What's good? What's good? What's good? How everybody doing out there this Sunday, February the 20th? We're moving on in this year, but hopefully you're having a great Sunday. Welcome to another edition of Real Talk for Real Men, Sundays edition. Sundays are fun days, as you know. So I am doing pretty good today, just so you know. Although the weekend is short like it normally is, I made it through, and it's on the precipice of another week. So got to count my blessings. I'm above ground, so things are good. Just got off a call with family, doing good wherever they are. So fantastic. So I'm welcoming you in today as my part two family. So I hope you're doing great as well. So when we get this thing kicked off, let us bring in Miss McMack, my co-host from Memphis, Tennessee. What's going on, McMack?
Oh, not much, not much. Like you said, just enjoying the Sunday, the end to a weekend and the beginning of the week.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So we know it's short lived, but you know what? We here, you here, I'm here. So we're going to do what we do. And I see I got my brother from another mother on here, Mr. Kenny from Texas. What's going on, my brother?
What's good? What's good, family? How you guys doing?
Doing great. How about you, sir?
Oh man, I'm doing living the high life, I guess. Living the high life.
Absolutely. That's what I said. That's what's going on. So we are here. I'll give a couple of minutes in case anybody else want to join us on this Sunday. I know Sundays is one of those days where you're at home, you're relaxing. As Tasha said, it's either it's how you look at it. It's either beginning of your week or the end of your weekend, depending on how you look at it. I see it as the end of my weekend. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, it depends on you how you look at it.
how you look
My
at it.
weekend was great. I got to see my granddaughter on
I
yesterday.
saw my brother. Beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful. Absolutely.
yeah. We chopped it up, man. She was trying to give me some pointers on how I can improve my YouTube channel. So
I
it
love
was
it.
all
I love
good.
it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, that's always good. In case
Yeah.
you guys don't know, whoever go back and watch this, we do Real Talk for Real Men live every Wednesday and Sunday. Sundays at 6 o'clock and Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. And so, if you haven't already, whether you go back and you're watching us live or you go back and watch us, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can find me on YouTube, under the name Real Talk Real Men, or you can find me on Facebook as part of the TFG TV platform. So with TFG TV, there's a host of shows. They got a little something for everyone. Trust and believe. My show
Hmm.
deals with relationship issues. Brother Kenny has his sports platform on there. They got shows dealing with relationship, religious topics, politics, grown people talk, you name it. TFG TV, we're a part of that platform. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook. And again, don't forget to tell others and subscribe to the channel. If you've already subscribed, share it with family and friends. So we still need your support for us to keep doing what we're doing. You know,
Exactly. You
I
said
see
it.
we got Mr. Burt coming on from North Carolina. What's going on, my brother?
Ain't much. How you guys doing?
All
What's
right,
up?
doing
What's up, brother Bert?
Ain't nothing. Another beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yeah, right, exactly. I which it's
yes,
nice here
sir.
too. It's nice here in Texas right
Yes,
now, but it
sir.
won't be. It won't be on Wednesday. They say so.
You,
We'll see.
yeah, you know how that goes. So,
I know exactly.
we'll see. In case everybody's wondering what we're going to be talking about, and I'm only going to give it like literally one more minute, and then we're going to get this thing popping with just us. You know how we do. I'll allow a little bit of CP time, but for the most part, I try to keep this train moving, you know.
Right.
But
Uh
we're going to talk about hot topics,
oh. Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, with A level, B level, C level, uh, so-called famous people out there. But you know how we do it. And in case this is your first time joining us, we don't just bring up just the fact that the famous person is doing something. We like to break it down and dissect it in terms of what does it mean. We go behind the scenes in terms of how does it mean, what does it mean for us as people, relationships wise, the relations between men and women. On my platform, that's what it's all about, helping us to get along a little bit better and understand each other, and even if we disagree, we can disagree without being disagreeable. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go behind the scenes. And how I'd like to do this, Tasha and I, we always kind of hash this out, but we don't share our views, so people don't know.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
I'll throw out
Yeah.
a topic, or she can throw out a topic, and then we'll kind of go from there. So I think it's high time we get started. Tasha, do you want to pick the first one?
Let's go with, I would say on the first one, let's go with Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon. So give us a little backstory, McMack, and then, we'll kind of comment from there.
So first, he is expecting his 8th child, after going on, this hiatus of supposedly celibacy and abstinence, abstaining from sex. He most recently did an interview where he says that monogamy isn't healthy, and he claims that all his children were planned. He also goes on to say in another article that he doesn't, with the 8th child pending and coming up, that he doesn't have the bandwidth or the energy, so to speak, in order to give to any additional children, women, or anything after this 8th one. But I want to read something from what he said about monogamy not being healthy. He said, married is not single. When you allow the government and paperwork to come in and say, this is a bond, this is a covenant, you're not single. You can still make covenants without getting the government involved, where two people say, we choose to be monogamous because we value this so much. We don't want anyone to be a part of this energy that we have. And I don't feel like that's healthy. I don't think monogamy is healthy. I feel that it gets into the space of selfishness and ownership. And also with there's a lot going on here. With him saying that all of his children were planned, he specifically goes on to say that he takes that stance because he knew that by engaging in unprotected sex with a woman, that there was a possibility that she could get pregnant, and that because he willfully knew that going into it, that his children were planned. It's a lot going on there, so we got to break it down all the way. So
Yeah,
there is definitely a lot going on there in terms of
Right.
what he's saying versus his actions, and just even the philosophy behind it. So anybody, where do you want to begin with this mess is what I call it.
That is right. Go ahead, Kenneth. You go ahead.
It's a lot to unpack with all that Tasha just said, that Nick, his beliefs on monogamy and not having another child and this and that. I think I'm just gonna kind of comment on the monogamy part. I kind of see his point, but I also will say that I think if two individuals decide to do that, that's their decision, and that's not unhealthy. That's just two adult people making the decision that we're gonna make that covenant to one another. Now, the whole legal aspect and all that's a whole, I mean, it's just so much to unpack. I mean, I kind of see his point on that monogamy, but I disagree when he's saying it's unhealthy, though. I mean, I could say that it's unhealthy for you to have 8 kids by 6 different women. I mean, that's unhealthy too. Even though you can take care of them. I mean, how are you giving them your time? How can you, as a father of 8 children, give each one of those children your time, especially what he does? So, man, it's a lot there. But when you got that type of bread, you can write books on how you spread your seeds, because he got that bread like that. So, there's a lot of men that's probably like, oh yeah, I'm Team Nick. But a lot of them cats, y'all ain't got that bread like Team Nick. So don't do as Team Nick does. Don't do that. Get yourself in trouble.
Good, very good points. All good points. I agree with everything you said.
Yeah.
Me personally, where you want to go with this, Brother Bird?
Yeah, I'm just gonna piggyback a little bit on the monogamy part, and especially what you said about money and about health. Now, it was unhealthy that he's going with these women uncovered. And now I do understand that he's taking ownership and saying, "Hey, listen, I'm sleeping with these women raw. There's a chance that I can get somebody pregnant." So I'm glad he did say that, but that's still an unhealthy choice, because you, just like they don't know what you've been, they do know what you've been doing, but
Right.
you don't know you don't know what they've been doing. And I think as far as with the monogamy part, I think it's more about money. And I think that, as far as him, maybe he's just a person that just can't, I mean, it's proven that he just can't be with one person. That's just not the type of guy he is. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you know
Right.
who you are, you stay in your lane and you be who you are. And it's not like he's lying to these women or anything else like that. I mean, he's being totally honest. He's been saying this all along. So that's his lane and he's staying in it. But I think as far as him, with the marriage thing, that could be more, I think, financial, if anything else, because it could come to a point where, hey, listen, if it don't work out with one of these women, they can pretty much take him for, depending on where he get married at, they can pretty much take him for half his dough. So that's another point that you also got to look at it too. He's in a different atmosphere as far as what he's doing. I agree with some points, but I don't really agree with all of them.
Again, nice points you made it to add to it. I'm not disagreeing with any of it. Tasha, what do you say about this from a woman's perspective?
I think Nick is spiraling and will continue to spiral ever since his divorce from Mariah. I think that spurred him on divorce, like on being in a monogamous relationship. I don't think that he's ever recovered from that. And I think that he is out here, and I find it very interesting. It reminds me a lot of what you went through after your divorce, Black, and the things that you were doing. And I do think that because Mariah was more of the, I would even say, the person in control in their marriage, I think that he's looking for something, like he's grasping, trying to show his manhood. I do think that is the case here. Also, with the whole having the 8 children, we can split hairs all we want to. Just because it's a possibility, it doesn't mean that you necessarily sat there and planned those children. We all know that by having unprotected sex, it is a possibility, yes, but it does not mean that you knowingly ran up in here and said, bitch, you having my baby. You didn't do that. So you can't convince me that that's exactly what happened. Maybe you got caught up in the moment, but I'm not going to say that's necessarily planned. Also, when I hear people attack the foundation of marriage, and that's how I feel like he is doing, he's attacking the foundation of marriage, having been someone that's never been married, but I do think that I would like to be married. To me, it is a certain level that you do and are able to achieve. Not all marriages are created equally, and how I view marriage is totally different than a lot of the views out here on the landscape. But to always say and revert back to having the government in your business, I think that is an easy cop out. Biblically, yes, when you lay with a woman, technically in the eyes of the Lord, yes, you are married, you are one with that woman, but still, for him, he should know, for financial reasons, that he should know with all of his money that you still need that. You still need the government, so to speak, in your business, because who's going to have a say so over what happens with your children if something happens to those women? There's so much that he's left open.
First, I want to say hello to my brother Lamar.
Hey,
Good to
what's
see you,
up,
my
brother Lamar? Happy
This is
Sunday
the
to
man,
you.
the myth, the legend from TFG. That's Mr. TFG himself. Appreciate you, my brother. Now, anybody who, if you ever wondered why Tasha is my best friend, you just got a glimpse of it. You got a glimpse of what this show has always been about. Tasha and I have these conversations whether we would be on camera or not. And this is the nature of our friendship, because we break down things on such a micro level that I love where she went with it, and it gives you some insight to how she thinks. And I couldn't agree with her more on so many different points. And she likened it to my own personal situation. That's why for me this does resonate with me, because I've been in that boat. And I agree with Tasha. This is acting out, pure and simple. A lot of times we tend to think because somebody's rich and famous and that they got everything, and that some kind of way they are mentally, emotionally in a better state than us. Now, materially, yes, and just because you can do something don't mean that you should.
Right.
So he
Yeah.
got the financial means to do it. But this is the ultimate level of irresponsibility on every level. I come from that world. Me and my boy, we ran them streets and we beat more pussy than famous people, keeping it funky with you. Having said that, my sister said something to me all the many years ago that she said to her, she stood in front of myself and her son, and she said, I get what y'all are doing. Y'all are out there doing your thing. She said, son, how come you can't be more like your uncle? Why you got to lay up on these women and get them pregnant? Because I knocked them down. It's the ultimate level of irresponsibility to have unprotected sex. And I agree with you 1,000%, Tasha. You're not laying up with these women thinking that I want you to have my baby. You fucking
Right.
raw. Let's keep it real.
That's all it
Let's
is.
keep it
Right.
real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Brother Bert, you said a point. I agree with you 1,000%. We know what he's doing, but do we really? Somebody who's that reckless and irresponsible with his dick, do we really know what he's doing all the time?
Mhm.
And again, as they're laying with you, just because you're Nick Cannon and rich and famous, you're sleeping with everybody that person slept with. When you make the conscious decision to have unprotected sex, you fucking they're past too now.
Right.
And so, do we really know what he's doing 100%? No, because I'll tell you this: we don't really know what everybody does behind closed doors. And what you said, Tasha, is the ultimate level of acting out. Because let's be honest here, folks. When you go from Mariah Carey, where there is nowhere to go but down, unless you can get Beyonce. Or Janet Jackson, or you get where I'm going?
Yeah, but you know, Nick done had some baddies though, even before Mariah.
And we're not talking about looks.
Yeah,
I'm not only going on looks.
I know, I
You know
got
what
you. I got you.
It's just like the special that was on Janet Jackson here recently, the 2-night special. If you're Jermaine Dupri, and it comes out on national TV that Janet Jackson, iconic Janet Jackson, wanted to have your babies, and you cheated on her and didn't make enough time for her, if you're JD, where do you go from there? What bitch can you get to top that?
Right. There
And
is none.
So yes, because Nick Cannon can get women, because I say this all the time, fucking, I know it's Sunday and it's 6 o'clock, so it's gonna have to be good enough. Fucking is about opportunity.
For men, you're right.
For men, it's about opportunity.
You're right.
This is not even about sex or nothing like that. He's they're around him. He don't have to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
At this stage of his life, he's still young enough. He's rich. He's famous, and he happened to have a medium that lends itself to the opportunities for women to be around him. So he could throw a rock and hit some nice pussy. Let's be honest about it. The fact that you're laying up in it unprotected, irresponsibly, I agree with you, Tasha. This is a person that's crying out for help and spinning out of control. And what makes it truly sad to me is what you said, Brother Kenny. There is no way on earth you can, these kids aren't growing up in the same household with you or with each other. So you're cheating them out of their best possible future, and they didn't ask to be here.
Exactly.
You know, so there's so much wrong with this. But you know what? I don't expect him to say anything other than what he said, because what you gonna say? I didn't want the little bastard child? No, he can't say that.
Right.
You know, but you can't tell me in a private room that man ain't sitting by himself thinking, what the hell have I, even though you got all this money. You know what I'm saying? Because we know that money don't buy love, it don't buy attention. Oh, and by the way, your net worth of 30, 40, 50 million dollars, you're doing it big now, my brother. But if them women do decide to put the man in the system, you know what? And all of a sudden, there's going to come a time when you're not as famous and you're not, all these opportunities are drying up. And then you got, all you got to do is do the math. You don't have to be Einstein. But if you got 8 kids and they're basing child support on your current wealth and income, and now that money's not coming in anymore, and all of a sudden you got $300,000-$400,000 every month coming out of your bank account, good luck with that.
And he set the wrong example for his kids too, whether male or female.
Thank you.
Because they won't look at it. The females gonna look at it like this is how a man's supposed to be. The men gonna look at it like this how we roll. This how we should do it.
You know. And while it looks good, because you putting the seed in these bad looking women, I'm gonna keep it funky with you. And I started with my boy. Ask my boy. He ain't famous. He ain't rich. Ask my boy how much fun it's fun when they legs is pinned clean back behind their ears. But when little ruck and nuck get here, they don't look so. Them bitches don't look so great then. You know what I'm saying? Because once he finally found the one and settled down, and now you got baby mamas out there, and as beautiful as she looked, because we're men, and in that moment, that body, that this, that. So, Nick, you're the one getting played. It looks the other way around. You know, Nick is banging them bitches. No, you the one getting fucked.
Now, you know what's interesting. Now, didn't he just lose a child like a month or two ago?
Correct.
And he just had another child. Is he having one? Is he
She's
having another
one? So apparently it was overlap. She was already pregnant when the other one had already passed, but still.
So this tells you this is somebody that's completely reckless and out of control. This is no different than somebody who's falling off the wagon, and every time you look up, they falling down drunk.
Right.
You know, he just happened to be making babies. Yeah. There is nothing cool about that. Ain't nothing. Nothing. You're not more of a man because you're doing that. You know, it's to me, it's the ultimate level of irresponsibility. Welcome, Hannah. How you doing, sweetheart?
Hey, what's up, Hannah?
So before I move to the next subject, Hannah, you got any comments on this Nick Cannon situation?
No, I'm trying to figure out who's in more competition because Kiki White about to have her 11th child.
She's on it. She's on there.
Oh, okay.
She's on there. She's on here. She is on here. That you brought her up. She's on here. And so I could make her. You know what? Instead of me going to the one I was going to go to.
Sorry.
No, because Tasha, is she not on there?
She is.
She's on here. So I'm gonna let you go first. So Tasha, first set us up with the Kiki Wyatt.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you would do that, but okay, yeah. So she is pregnant, expecting again. I do believe it is with her husband, and this would be baby number 11. So, you know, we all know she's a singer. And again, I think it's one of those things that, again, just because you can do it doesn't mean should you do it. Now, granted, yes, is it different? I would question this. Is it different when it's the mother having the multiple children by different men? Are there different rules? Do people view it differently? Because again, still, where even if you're doing it under the grounds and under the guise of a marriage, is it any better?
I think that's a great question, Tasha. And I tell you, it's definitely viewed differently. Men are looked at reckless and just, you know, they just looked at reckless and irresponsible. I think when you see, and I think women are too, to a certain extent, but a woman of Kiki Wyatt stature, she won't get the same type of scrutiny as a woman that may be living in the projects, or just a regular woman making 40. They won't, she won't get scrutinized as much as another woman would having 11 kids. By how many different? I know she's been married a couple of times, so all these kids by
at least
marriages. Yeah, I know she has.
I believe that they are within marriages, so it's like 3. I want to say it's by 3 different husbands. That I believe that's
it's at least 3. It's at least 3 husbands, maybe 4.
You know what's interesting? I had the opportunity to, when I was working for CBS 11 here in Dallas, I had the opportunity to interview Kiki Wyatt probably about 2 years ago, and guess what? She was pregnant then.
If you got that many kids, that bitch always
pregnant. she was pregnant. Yeah, it was about 2 years. Yeah, that was the 19. That was before the pandemic. So that's
Lamar. I'm gonna challenge if that thing is go out, but I'll take your point, my brother.
But hey, y'all already know what. Hey, you know what? I'm not getting ready to get started. It's too early.
No. I think I know where you're going with this.
I'm not getting ready to go there, Black. No.
The last show.
Right. No, I'm not getting ready.
I know where you're going with this. I personally don't find pregnant women attractive.
I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna be quiet. Everybody else can go.
I knew where you was going. Hunter, come on, sweetheart. You brought it up. What you got to say on this?
Okay, I'll say this. I think 11 kids is a lot, no matter how rich you are, because I have two, and they're exhausting sometimes, and they are 5 years apart. And just with the time, and you got to go, if they're on different sports or different leagues or proms or graduations, things are overlapped. I feel like when you have that many kids, you can't really give your all to that many kids. No matter, you can have the money, but if a nanny is raising them, then what's the point of having the money
Right.
and the means if you just gonna keep popping them out every 5 seconds? I mean, does the legs close ever? I understand that's your husband's. Understand that's 3 or 4 husbands. Understandable. But 11 kids, there's no way you have enough of just you. And then for your personal mental health, how are you even resting? Like, how are you even able to really cope with 11 kids? I feel like that's too much. I mean, but it's not my vagina. I wouldn't be having 11. Two's enough for me. But I feel like after you have a son and a daughter, I mean, how many more you need after that? You already
Okay.
got one
Okay.
each. No offense. I mean, to people that have 11, 12, 15, 16, a tribe, it's your choice, but I feel like you personally can't give enough, because I feel like me working and going to school and my different things, I feel like I don't, even though I do, I feel like sometimes I'm not giving enough to my two. So I can't imagine 11 as a parent. I just can't imagine doing it.
Very good points. Very good points. Bert or Todd, I'm looking at Bert's face. Bert, are you still processing this?
He's
Bro,
trying to process the
I'm
11.
I swear to God, I'm looking at your face.
He
Like,
had that look, boy. He had that look.
you know,
For
like,
real.
but
Yeah.
I mean, the snapback must be real.
Right.
The snapback must be real. And
go ahead, my brother, because speak on it, Bert, because Lamar said that thing must Lord have mercy, that thing wore out. But is it? Go ahead.
it must be magical, because I mean, bruh, 11, and I hear what Han is saying about, listen, with my two boys, I still sometimes think back and like, did I do enough? So I can't imagine nine more kids.
Yep.
Right.
Like, yo, when did you ever get that thing a break? Like for real. And I understand, like you with different, oh, maybe your husband, and you want to, bless them, that's with kids, but when do you have the time and and what is she again? She's a what? She's a singer.
She's a singer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was thinking.
Mhm.
Beautiful voice.
Yeah. Great voice.
Beautiful
Yeah.
voice.
And
Underrated. Underrated. No,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
don't
she's
sing.
she's definitely
She don't
she's
sing,
definitely
she
underrated.
sang.
She
She
sang.
sang.
That
She
girl,
don't
that
sing, she
girl,
sang.
that woman can
Very
sing.
pretty.
Well, look, she must be very accommodating, because I don't
No,
know too many.
no, she crazy too though. She
I'm
crazy.
saying,
As a
I'm
$3
telling you, like,
bill,
I'm being
say it
little
again,
before I start
Kenny.
listening.
This Miss
It's,
Crazy
hey,
is a
hey,
$3
hey,
bill.
hey, she crazy because she done stabbed one of her husbands.
Yeah, this
No,
Miss
one
Crazy
of
is
her
a
exes.
the
$3
first
bill.
husband.
Who, what?
What's
Yeah,
the
right
first
after
one?
she made the
Okay,
song with Avant. She
right.
stabbed her
Yeah, she
husband.
stabbed me. Yeah,
Yeah.
she
Oh, my
crazy.
first love, Keith?
Right after my first
Oh,
love, she stabbed me.
man.
Yeah, this Miss Crazy than a $3 bill. Make no sense about that.
And I'm trying to figure out why it's 4 husbands. Something
Come
got to
on,
give.
come on, Tasha, jump in here.
Cause she crazy. That's why it's for.
well,
Come-
first I do want to say that Ocho Cinco said ain't no way that Kiki trying to outdo him. But anyway, we gonna move on. He did say that.
hey,
Yeah, cause he got a bunch of them too.
yep.
Exactly. But while we are on the topic of this, think about it. 19 kids and counting, the Duggars. She
yeah.
had her and Jim Bob have had 19 kids.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who they are. Okay, well maybe it's
Yeah,
just
I
me.
know who they
I
are.
do.
Oh no! I know. I know.
19?
Yeah, she's had
Yeah,
19. She's
son.
had 19 kids herself, but she's had multiple miscarriages as she's gotten up in age. With having kids. Now her and their situation, because of the religion that they follow, I want to say it's the Church of the Latter-day Saints. It is, part of their teachings for the women to, be fruitful and multiply and to continue to have children as long as they can. But we see what happened. The older children were forced to be raising the younger children, under the guise of helping out. And then we see what happened. Josh sitting up there, he done molested his sisters and everything. And then, now as they
Oh,
have
yeah, I
gotten
heard
older,
about that.
they are, coming into their own and realizing that that's not a teaching and following that they want to, follow. But the only reason why I bring that up is because that is something that we have to consider as well. How healthy is it? And that we've seen in a lot of communities that the older siblings are raising the younger siblings. And that's not fair for them. They're being robbed of their own childhood. And how would you feel? I think about this all the time. I've seen these videos where parents are letting their older kids know that, hey, that all these pregnancy announcements, like the parents are in their 40s and stuff, and there's like a 20-year age gap, and then boom, they're pregnant again, and their oldest is like 20. I think about my own parents. I would shame the hell out of my parents if somebody came to me talking about that they pregnant again. I would shame my mother and I would shame my father. So y'all should have been more responsible. But luckily for me, they're age appropriate. They're going through menopause. Thank God, it's okay. So
Not thank God.
all good points.
Not
All
thank
good points.
God.
Lamar, she's definitely crazy as hell. So let me
That's
jump
too
in here,
crazy.
and I want to go the same way I went with Nick. And unfortunately, she's not going to bear the same stain as a Nick Cannon for two reasons. She's a woman,
Mhm.
and this is happening within the confines of marriage. But this is,
Mhm.
in my personal opinion, this is just as irresponsible.
Yes,
Once
it is.
again, just because you have the means to do it doesn't mean you have to. And I don't care about religious reasons or whatever. It comes down to personal accountability and responsibility. I come from a family of 11.
Oh, that's
And I
right.
can sit here and tell you right now, there's no greater woman on this earth than my mother. And I just got off a dual call with her before this meeting. 86 years old, most beautiful woman ever. Mean as all get out, would make Mother Teresa say, fuck this shit, but she's still the greatest woman that ever lived. Eloise Young is the greatest woman to ever live, in my opinion. And because of what my mom has been through and raised us without a father and everything. Having said that, I can sit here and tell you with 100% certainty as a 54-year-old man, the only recollections I have of any hugs and affection, I was sick with pneumonia or flu, because that is when mama rubs Vicks salve on your
Mhm.
head and
Right.
chest and baby this
Mhm.
and baby that.
Right.
Outside of those moments, my mom had to work for a living to clean houses. And Tasha, your point is accurate. My older sisters raised me to a great extent. That's who I came home to in my formative years, who told me what to do, this and that, and ran the house. By the time my mom made in, she was tired. The house had to be clean. Those chores that we had to do every day, that was dictated to me by older brothers and sisters. That was the plan. So my mom, no matter how she loved us from the top to the bottom, she just could not give that kind of time to that many children. And so just like Nick is being irresponsible, it's the most heightened level of irresponsibility to the husband too. Because here's the thing, if you're perpetually pregnant, what time do you have to devote to give to the living, breathing entity that is the marriage? Hence why she's on husband number 3 or 4. A marriage is a living, breathing entity. That's why I only did it once, because I take it that serious. You have to give as much energy to the marriage itself as you do to your children and to yourself. Otherwise, it shrivels up and dies. I can tell you all about it. I'm not perfect, but I can tell you what don't work. And hence why she's on husband number 3 or 4, because if you're perpetually pregnant, you're always in mommy care mode and you're never enough there to be in wife mode. What romance can you have when the bitch is always pregnant? What is she, a woman or a rat? How many litters you gonna have, bitch?
Right.
Her and the Dugars women that, how many teeth, you might as well have a bunch of titties down your stomach so all these little rats can suckle on them. If you're gonna perpetually be pregnant.
Yeah.
Now, and it's a reason why I think this bitch is crazy. It's a $3 bill. How many of you know what Munchausen syndrome is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Munchausen syndrome by proxy. This is a form of this for me. If you don't know what that is, there are parents out there who have children and they constantly either hurt their children or constantly take them to the hospital because they want the the emotional impact of the pity always on them. Man, that mom is having it so hard. Oh, her children are so sick. There's even been extreme examples where moms have fed their kids cancer medication, even though the kid didn't even have cancer. And that's because they want the world to see them as this suffering parent. This to me is a form of Munchausen syndrome, to where if you're always in mommy mode and pregnant, the attention that garners, being pregnant and taken care of and this and that, I think this rat bitch is in love with this. Yes, I called her a rat. The same way I would call Keisha over there in the projects a rat. This is just a celebrity rat, a rat nonetheless. This bitch is destructive, irresponsible, and yes, somebody need to force her down and cut her motherfucking tubes out of her and burn them and throw them bitches in the fiery pits of hell so she can never have another child.
Now, devil's advocate, Black. I would say, you know, there's gonna be some that's gonna say, well, why don't these more men practice getting vasectomy?
I agree. I agree. And Lou Boo, and you're absolutely ain't nothing wrong with having kids. We're not judging whether having kids are wrong or right. So you're coming into this conversation. I hope you're not misconstruing this.
Already she already coming with
right. We're not judging whether it's wrong or right to have kids.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with me eating cake, but if I sit my fat ass up in bed and constantly eat cake until I have a heart attack and die
and become diabetic,
anything in excess is something wrong with it. Exactly. So this is not being too harsh, you know, but again, you're more than welcome to your opinion, but I'm just sharing mine, just so you know. But we're not talking about her right to have kids. If anything, you've exhausted that right and then some. Shut the faucet off, baby. Shut the faucet off.
But here's the deal with Kiki, with her particular situation. She has 11 kids by, I believe, 3 different marriages. So back to what Black said, what we said about Nick Cannon. She's not going to be in a household with, those fathers aren't going to be in a household with all of those kids. No. So now the kids are losing out because they don't have both parents there. And now you got all this craziness going on. Then she's pregnant all the time. And then probably the older kids going to have to be taking care of you. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just chaos and everything is running amok. I mean,
let me add one last thing. So let me add one last thing for you ladies out there who might be listening to this, because for the argument that, well, she was married. I got a girlfriend ex-girlfriend that I love. And I mean, I love her. You know, Tasha know who I'm talking about. This was one of the great loves of my life. Now, this is a beautiful woman. Some of the best sex I ever had. I mean, everything about her I love. I would have married her. No doubt about it. Having said that, when we split and went our separate ways, whenever I would talk to her, she would always talk about the different guys that was in and out of that playing field. Now, but they was always boyfriends. You know, well, this is my boyfriend. So she liked fucking as much as I like fucking, but she did it under the guise of boyfriend. There are people out there that the behavior, if it walks like a duck and looks like a duck, it's a duck. Now, when she was with me, she wasn't a hoe. I love you, baby, out there if you're watching this some kind of way, but she was a hoe. There was a lot of players up in that ball pen, and just because you called them boyfriend, there was just as many soldiers running through that war. Some of the same women that you was talking about was hoes. You just did it under the guise of they were boyfriends. Ouch. And so when you got 3 or 4 husbands out there, you can tell yourself that, well, at least it's my husband. Where is he? Bitch, where is he? Ouch. Them legs just getting pinned back under the role of marriage, but it's irresponsible. Nonetheless, it's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.
I know that's right.
Yikes!
What? We about to have 10 kids.
Oh,
Bird just got stressed out.
I know that ain't happening. I already know.
Oh, I know it ain't either. Now, because, you know, we're not really having kids like that no more.
No.
I mean, now we're not really having kids like that anymore, for real.
It's not responsible in this day and age. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's really not. And we understand the importance of being a parent and a full-time parent and being a part of their lives. So
absolutely.
Absolutely.
I ain't about
Let's
to be 40 with a
transition.
1-year-old.
Huh? What you say? I didn't hear.
I said I'm not about to be 40 with a 1-year-old. What I look like?
Hunter, that's a whole nother story at her age, goo goo gaga and all that shit. And you're an old ass woman. Come on, baby. Now there's a time to cut that shit out. But Lou Blue, to be fair, let's give your opinion. Lou Blue says, I can respect your opinion, but no matter 1 or 100 kids, it's okay. It takes a village to raise a child, no matter if one parent or both are present. I actually agree with you. I agree with that. So I don't have
All right.
anything negative
I
to
have
say on what
something.
you're saying.
I don't.
You
I
know,
agree,
Can I
but
say something?
the village ain't like the village of old.
that's where I was gonna go.
That's why you
That's
can
where I
miss
was
me
gonna
with that
go.
village. But
That's
I
where I was
agree
And
with
going, Lou
most of
also,
Blue.
that.
That's the thing, Lou Blue. Go
I
ahead,
want to
Hannah.
add something too.
Go ahead.
The village was not the older siblings. And when you have the amount of kids, it becomes the older siblings. The village used to be the neighbors or the responsible people, or maybe even a teacher. But when your village becomes the older kids because you have
It's not fair
inequality,
to them.
that's
It's
not the
not
village
fair to
anymore.
them.
Right.
It's
You
not fair.
don't want
It's
your kids to be the parent.
and
So
that's why Lou
that's
Blue, I said, in our opinion, no, and I love your opinion, I respect it,
I
and
do
you're
too.
welcome to come on the
so do I.
show. We welcome it. You're never gonna get shot down on your opinion. I love it. Thank you. Please, I appreciate you for tuning in. I'll share your opinion on this next topic. Come on with it now. I would love you. So let's break down Van Jones. If you don't know who Van Jones is, political commentator, high profile African American guy, very intelligent, solid guy, was on CNN for a long time, very respected in his field. He even helped Kim Kardashian when she was kind of getting her law license and this and that. Another fun fact about him, Elon Musk, the richest man in the world. I think he's now surpassed Jeff Bezos.
Okay. Yeah,
He
he has.
surpassed him.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
go back and forth depending on the stock market.
Right.
You know, but Elon Musk gave him $100 million, you know, to basically do with what you want. He respects Van Jones, and he gave him $100 million to support whatever causes Van Jones wants to support. Why is that important? Here's the story. Van Jones says that during the pandemic, one of his close friends, she and he started talking about with the pandemic, how it made them appreciate where they were in life and things like that. And they made a decision to have a child together. Now it's unclear if in having this child that they did it the old-fashioned way. The way it's worded, he talks about them being conscious co-parents. They decide to make a agreement to consciously co-parent, and he words it in such a way it doesn't come across as if they are in any kind of relationship, sexually, or emotionally. That as two good friends, both seeing the need to want to maybe have one more child, decided to have a child together to conscious co-parent. So I want to know what you guys think about that.
Negro, that is your baby mama, and you are the baby's father. I don't like when people try to, people of certain stature try to reword something to make it seem better than what it is. You had a child out of wedlock, and then he says, also he stated, this is something new we're trying. Sir, that's been going on since the beginning of time. People have kids out of wedlock all the time. That has nothing to do with something new. And I didn't like his statement also of saying, we would like other people to do it. No, if that works for you, that works for you. Don't invite other people to your party. Nobody asked for that. Like people try. I understand you're a politician. I understand you on scene and all that. Good for you. However, let's do this. You saying this is something new or we're going to co-parent. If she gets mad at you and try to send you to court, that story gonna change. It ain't gonna be this. It's gonna be, oh man, she dragging me through it and everything else. So you had a child, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with having a child of wedlock. I don't understand why he's trying to make it seem like it's something different. It's nothing wrong with that. So you did it. You did it. You're a grown man. She's a grown woman. Y'all decided to have a child, and that works for y'all. But to try to spin it and make it something else than what it is, no, it's a child without wedlock. Let's go.
Woo! Nice hot take. Lubu said that's just crazy. That's just crazy.
In the words of Pinky, knuckle.
Shut up.
Stop it. I'm sitting over there like, look, you trying to save face. I understand the way you look at the media and the whole nine. Listen, y'all friends with benefits, fuck buddies. I get it. And you just trying to put a good spin on what's going on, but we see right through that. It's all good. It's fine. I mean, you had one out, you weren't married. It's all good. Just take care of the child and keep it pushing. You good.
Okay.
For all we know, the baby probably was unplanned. He trying to put a spin on it.
That's all.
Okay. Okay. What you say, Brother Kenny or Tasha?
I'm kind of confused by why I'm confused of why he feel like he had to come out and make this whole new term of what a lot of us been doing, or the product of whatever for years. Conscious co-parenting. Some of our parents were unconscious. They weren't there. They were on life support. So I guess he's just trying to, he tried to give it a new term of conscience. But I'm like, bro, you late to the game. This game been going on way before. So I guess you just trying to dress it up because of your status and your title. And I get that. But at the end of the day, bro, you shot the club up. You the daddy. You the pappy. You the pappy. And that's okay. That's okay. Just keep it moving. If you and that one lady, y'all on the same page, that's all that matters. You ain't got to explain nothing to us, player. Do your thing.
Very good point. Very good point. Tasha, what you got to add to this?
I guess everybody wants to have their own little niche or their own little thing that they started. What I find the most interesting, and also what we saw at the onset of the pandemic, where a lot of people were bored. Let's be clear. Let's call it what it is. You were bored, and you thought it was a good idea with a best friend, like, hey, I'm bored, you're bored, let's have a child together. Black, I love you. Ain't no way in hell I'm having a child together. We didn't have, fundamentally, we might agree with how to raise children and everything, but that's not a decision that you make with a friend. People fall out with friends over a check at a restaurant. I mean, you can sit here and dress it up all you want to. You got bored. You decided it was a good idea, like some people did during the pandemic and got pets. You got bored. And now you're trying to fulfill whatever emotional hole, whatever, whatever you're trying to cling to, because I believe he had like 2 children already.
Yeah, so from his marriage. Previous marriage. Yeah, he's divorced.
Yeah, so whatever it is you're trying to cling to or trying to recreate, you cannot do that with another person. So
I love all the points we've made and it's adding so much layers to it. And so who I blame for this whole thing is Will and Jada. Y'all the reason for this bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, why you gonna blame them, bro?
Not Will.
I blame R. Kelly. I blame R. Kelly. I blame him for making that song. Let's go half on the baby. That's why I blame him.
Free R. Kelly.
Yeah, Van was listening too much R. Kelly talking about going half on the baby. That's what happened.
R. Kelly, I'm sorry. I love you. I love you, R. Kelly. Anyway, I blame Will and Jada Smith for a reason. They are the purveyors of, you guys talk about creating a new lane. With the Red Table Talk Show, giving you a little pub, you guys have successfully managed to rewrite the norms of relationship, creating terms like entanglement. Instead, you're saying you just cheated, bitch. You cheated.
Right.
You know?
You're right.
You guys have managed to rewrite the rules of parenting, by these 2 crazy little fuckers you got out here in the world that don't even have a formal education, but they so great and evolved that they don't need it. We let them do our own thing. You guys have managed to rewrite marriage in of itself, and that instead of telling the world we have an open marriage and we freaks like that, but no, our souls are connected and we'll never be apart. I blame you 2 motherfuckers for this. And so when I look at these 2 crazy sons of bitches who's supposed to be intelligent, to sit up, as Tasha said, and come up with the idea and then have the audacity to tell us about it as if you're discovered a new planet and we're supposed to jump on board, as Hunter say that you invite others to do this. No, keep that bullshit to yourself.
Thank you.
One, if you decide to co-parent and you didn't shoot the club up, then you really a damn fool. Because what would be the point of sharing the parenting if you ain't getting none of the goodies? So you really a damn fool. If that head and tail ain't come to you directly, then you really a damn fool. But let's say you got bored and you decide, I'm bored, you're bored, come on over, let's kick it, let's get down. This is another example of irresponsibility because Tasha bring up a valid point. Friends is friends, but parenting is a whole nother ball game. And I don't care who you are, you owe a certain level of responsibility to that child that didn't ask to be here. Now, your views on corporal punishment, education, immunization, important things matter. And so ultimately, if you disagree on that, I don't give a damn how good of friends you are. Tasha and I, she said, we're very good friends, but we differ on some important things, on some of these things that we talk about. And so now if that comes up and you do have to involve the law legally, once again, it's a disservice you're doing to a kid that didn't have to be here. And oh, by the way, how the fuck you think that kid gonna feel that when they get old enough to be told that you wasn't conceived in love? You was conceived on the whim of let's do something fun and different. This is not you're not baking a cake, building a house in the backyard. You're bringing a life into this whole equation. It's not fair.
If they wanted to rush, they should have robbed a damn bank and gone on about their business or got a damn tattoo. That's what they should have done.
But he didn't have to tell the world. He could have kept that private.
When Kenny said that was bro. Why did you see but that's why I blame William. Why did you see the need to tell us this? Because if y'all are best friends or good friends anyway, you could have just done whatever. But could it be that when you show up now and you got a kid and it comes out that y'all ain't living together or you got somebody else and she got somebody else, you worried about how it's going to look, so you want to get out ahead of it? So that's why I said we've gotten away from calling shit what it really is. You know what I'm saying? And that's my issue with this, that come on now. Lou Blue chimes in, says nobody plans for children honestly. And I think to a certain extent, Lou Blue, that might be true.
That's true a little bit. To a certain extent, yeah.
You know,
I kind of agree with that.
You know, so I agree with you to an extent. Yeah, you know, and you might want a kid, you know, but that's only movie shit where you lay down and say, "Let's make a baby." It really doesn't.
I'm saying, like, people that can't have kids.
You better take that playbook out, Tom Brady.
But you're right. That's only in the movies. You're right,
That's
Black.
in
That's
the movies.
Scripted. Yeah,
You know,
it ain't going down like that.
I don't know how great a song comes on. I love his Mark Kelly. I ain't never in none of those moments, even when I was raw dogging that pussy, thought that let's make a baby.
That's true. You're right. You're right about that. You're right.
Lou Blue, you done stepped in. He's whoever this is said nobody plans for children honestly, especially in the Black community. Now,
I don't believe that.
Lou Blue, we can't see you, and so I'm going to jump out on a whim here, and I want you to correct me. But when I see Lou and Boo, the Lou seems to suggest Asian descent. Am I right or am I wrong?
Right.
Oh no, Lou answered it. I'm Black and I'm from Chicago. All right, I appreciate you for clearing that up. But that is a very interesting statement that you say, especially in the Black community. Well, I'm gonna disagree with you there a little bit. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, both my boys, and I know maybe I'm in the minority, but it was planned. I was married, and then a decision was made, and then that was that. So it wasn't nothing.
And that's what. Thank you.
Shit. It was what it was.
Thank you for sharing that. And I wanted to say,
when you gotta be careful when you say stuff like that, because you can't paint with a broad stroke because you don't know everybody's household.
Right, and don't generalize the Black community. Don't say because we are
because other communities have kids.
Because
Lou,
all
Lou,
my
I'm gonna say this.
all my 3 children were made out of love and by the same woman. So I would say,
Well, now Lou,
yeah.
my little bastard is a true bastard. Didn't know he was here. Didn't want him here. Didn't expect him here. He's a bastard in the truest sense of the word, you know. And I am a black man from New York City. Now, having said that, I definitely want you. She asked, "What state am I from?" I'm from Harlem, New York, and I would love to get you on the show. We're gonna go to the next topic, but I want to say this. My thing is, my speculation is take race out of it. Men are men. Men
Let's
are
stop
men
with
are
this
men.
generalization of
Men are
all
men.
Thank you.
That's my feeling on it. Take men.
men.
No, this. So that's for me. If you're in some free pussy, you know, if you're some pussy that you love, then yeah, you might be planning it like this brother. He was, you know, they was in a relationship. But when you're in free pussy and you raw dogging it because you want to see how good it feels, sometimes you just want to see how good it feels. You know, you want skin against skin. You want all the juices.
Yeah,
So when you're doing that, you know, it might not be planned, but that's not a black thing. That's not a white thing. That's a pussy thing.
That's a human. That's a human experience thing. At the end of the day, no matter what color you are, that's.
See, this is why I have them. Brother Kenny says it in a nice, articulate, intelligent way.
Yeah.
It's a pussy thing.
I'll also say this: there are people that can't have kids that literally sit out and plan.
Right. Yeah. You're
absolutely.
Right. You're right.
Absolutely.
They are playing.
Lou, I love it. Keep it coming. Come on the show. We got to get come on the show.
I believe I was planned. I got to talk to my daddy about that, but I'm pretty sure I was planned.
Hey, you know what? You know what? Tasha just made a good point because you got to talk to the men about it because we the only ones. I mean, if we don't shoot the club up, ain't nothing happening. So yeah, it's on the men.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got to talk to your daddies.
Mama might say, "Oh yes, I dreamed you." Daddy might tell you something else.
Right? I don't know. My dad. I don't know.
I don't know. I would challenge that because my dad did.
No, you're right. You're right, Black. No, you're right, Black. At the end of the day, the daddy's got to shoot the club up. So you better ask your daddy what was on his mind.
Ask Dad.
I'm not trying to have to put my mind.
I should ask your father.
I'm pretty sure I was playing. I don't think I was a nice
I'm
guy.
just saying. I really want you to ask your father that and let me
you
know.
want me to ask him right now? I'll call him.
Hell yes.
Hey, Tasha, maybe your daddy pullout game was weak too.
Oh,
I don't know. Because like by then, him and my mom were married. So I don't know. You want me to ask him?
No, Tasha, no, don't do that. No.
Tasha, I would like to know before this show ends what he would say.
Well, hold on. Let me call him and ask him.
I'll say this.
Live moment while we wait. Go ahead, Hannah.
I was planned, but only because my brother were older and they wanted a daughter. I don't know how they knew I was going to be a girl, but they wanted two.
So who planned it though?
So was you planned, or was you hoped for?
That's what I'm saying.
They were hopeful because my dad wanted a daughter.
So your dad
was okay with just one.
so your dad
planned.
Well, that's where the dad plans it no matter what. At the end of the day,
Lou, you see what you done started? Lou, you see what you done started on my show?
My mom was sure she wanted to keep me.
The dad.
I love my mom with her life, but she was.
I was not playing.
Years old. It's real. She was 17 years old, and I respect that.
Right. I was not playing. I'm glad she kept me.
Thank you very much. I was playing.
Hold on. What did he say?
Yeah.
What did he say?
So I asked him, I was like, this is a random question, and I know it's going to sound really weird right now, but I just it goes to what I'm talking about right now. I was like, was I planned? Was your pregnancy, was I planned? He said, yeah, you were planned.
And your dad said that, right?
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The dad, we do plan it, because if we don't shoot it up, there ain't nothing happening.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Well, I truly take after my father. I'm a bastard. My son's a bastard. So, and I wasn't supposed to be here. And he's a bastard and a son of a bitch. So that's a whole nother story. Let's get it. We
just gonna do this all Sunday.
We're having fun. We got time for one more good one, Nelly.
Okay.
The Nelly, how many of you are aware of the Nelly situation?
I heard about
Tasha,
it.
give us a little details to bring us up to speed.
I
Okay,
heard about
so
it.
apparently it was an accidental leak of a private video between him and a woman. And the reason why I brought it up, I don't know if everybody's seen it. I've seen it. If you have not, please go to Twitter and you should be able to find
It's
it
on
there.
Twitter.
Wow.
It's
Nah, I'm
okay. It's
good.
like
I don't
30
need to
Me
seconds
see
too.
long.
it.
It's
I
all
ain't
right.
seen it.
Yeah, I don't need
So
to see
it
it.
was just a video of him getting some head. Now I
Okay.
would be interested in the men giving their critique because there was a lot of pushback on the woman's performance. So, but
It
that's
was
Okay.
neither here nor
trash.
there.
Oh,
Okay.
So
Okay.
okay, so there was after it came out, there was a lot of comments by women that number one, they did say that they felt that it was disappointing and it reignited the conversation between length, like the size of a man's package, length versus girth, because they felt like he should have been bigger. But
Okay.
also, some women were turned off by the fact that he was moaning in the video. So again, I would question, like, are we really at that point where women don't want to hear that a man is enjoying himself, or they only want to hear themselves moan? Because they said that it was a turnoff that he was doing all the moaning and talking. So
Okay. All right. Great
Okay.
question to end on. Who want to go?
First of all, when I am performing, I'm keep it classy. Your eyes better be in the back of your head, and you better be speaking in tongues, or I'm going on strike. Let's start with that. Ain't no why. Who wants to be sitting there with somebody bored and looking crazy?
Bravo.
You better
Bravo.
hit Little Richard notes at this point. I don't care what you do.
Bravo.
But the fact of I don't understand this generation. I don't understand the change. I don't understand what's going on. But when you're in that type of sexual encounter, you want both parties to be pleased. So if they're pleased and they decide to moan for their pleasure, then let them do that. Who wants to have one-sided sex? Why you looking at me like that?
I ain't looking at you.
I
I'm
think
listening.
what
I'm
you're saying is
listening.
brilliant, and you saying it,
I'm thinking over
saying
there.
it really respectfully too. And what you're saying is brilliant.
Yeah, so I feel like, why is it that I'm trying to be calm. I feel like this new age women are so selfish in certain acts. Like, give me money, forget you. Give me needs, forget you. It's about both parties. If we're in that act, I wanna do it. First of all, I'm gonna do it to brag, not to other people, but to let me know I put it down. So I want you to scream and all everything else, toes curling. That's what you're supposed to do. Nobody wants you to sit there, mouth all numb. Who wants to do what it's at you? That makes no sense. Now about his length and all that, I don't really know. He might be a grower, not a shower. I mean, I feel like her performance was trash, and I think he was trying to. I think it was encouraging moans, because usually if you moaning, you might go crazy and might start showing off a little bit
Okay.
more. If he didn't look like this, then I would have a problem.
Okay.
But he wasn't as straw, so it's okay. I feel like people were judging. I do feel the only reason why I feel like it's an accident, because if a man released a sex tape, it probably would be his best sex tape, and that did not show him in a good light at all.
Okay.
Okay.
When you put out a sex tape, you want to show yourself in a good light. When somebody
Yeah,
else put it
that's
out,
true.
they don't care how it's out there. They just put you out there.
Okay.
And as far as a male's ego, I'm not a man. I never want to be a man. I'm all woman. But as far as I know, a male's ego is a certain thing, and no man is going to try to put himself in a bad light, especially to the world. No matter if
That's
it's
true.
1 second, 2
Okay.
seconds, or 3 seconds. But I do
Okay.
feel like women need to get it together. When you do certain things, it's to please you and your significant other.
Okay. Man, Hannah, you knocked
She
that one
hit
out the
it.
park, sweetheart.
Yes, she
You
did.
knocked that one out the park. Brother Bert, you want to add anything to that?
I can't even follow it. I didn't even see it. I didn't even see the chorus.
I haven't seen it, the video.
I
either.
didn't either.
No,
I mean, no, I've heard about it, but I just
I heard
yeah,
about it,
heard
but
about it.
I
yeah,
heard
I
about
didn't
it.
rush to go see
Yeah,
see
right.
see if Nelly was packing. I didn't rush to go
Right.
see if
But
Nelly was
I
packing.
thought that, but I will say this. I will say this, that I thought that, if a man is at least moaning a little bit, at
Mhm.
least is letting the woman know you're doing a good job. The same way if we doing the same thing to a woman. You
Very
know what I
true.
mean? We eating it out.
Very true.
Not to say nothing. I'm like, am I
Very
doing it right, or
true.
what the fuck
Very
is going
true.
on?
Very true.
Do I got choke you, bitch, or what? Like, what's going on?
Watch your mouth.
But you,
Bravo, bravo.
hey, black rubbing off on Bert.
He's showing off.
Bravo,
He's
my
showing
brother.
off.
Bravo, my brother.
Don't
Bravo.
encourage us.
All right. Hannah agreed with everything you. Shanti agreed with everything you said, Hannah. And Lou said they haven't seen the video either. So, Brother Kenny or Tasha, what you got to say on this situation? I'm gonna get Kenny first. Tasha, you want to hear? You want to hear?
I want to hear what Tasha.
Tasha.
I mean, because I want to.
Go ahead, Tasha.
Women. Yeah.
I am tired of this whole argument. Yes, and this is one thing that I did see is that some women do not understand the difference between length and girth either. Where you could be shortcoming in one of the two areas, but make up for it in the other area, and it's just fine. For me, that shit don't matter. But I'm gonna say this, and I know this is going to be very controversial. Some of these women with these opinions have never even experienced a vaginal orgasm. So how can you sit up there and say if you like what about a man's dick when you don't even know how to get off on your own pussy without clitoral stimulation?
Wow.
So you don't even know your own body. Okay, so we're gonna stop doing that. So also with that, with this whole thing with the woman, I didn't think that her performance was that stellar because to me, it didn't appear that his dick was all the way that hard. It didn't seem like it. She gave very just regular head. She wasn't doing nothing crazy. And she had her hand there that kind of prevented her from going all the way down. So she was no throat goat. So let's be clear on that. Now, for me, whenever I am with a man, whether it's giving head, fucking, whatever it is, I need to hear you to be just as enthusiastic as I am. You ain't got to be calling out to God or anything. You ain't got to be speaking tongues, but I need to hear that you're actually enjoying it, whatever it is that you're saying. Just don't say nothing weird. Like, don't call me like grandma or anything like that. Don't say nothing weird like that. But if you need to call out a name or something else, call me dirty bitch, whatever it is, I need to hear that you're enjoying it too. Because you getting off makes me get off. But I'm a giver. That's a pleaser. So
I love it. I love it. Before you go, Brother Kenny, Shantae said she saw it. Looks like a penis to me. People was acting like he was belly button size.
Thank you. It was a normal size.
Okay. Go ahead, Brother Kenny. Go ahead, Brother Kenny.
Yeah, dang, Tasha put it down. Good Lord. I think why some of the women may have been disappointed because of Nelly's physique. I think a lot of times women get caught up with a man is very muscular and he has all this six pack and all that. They think that he's gonna have a penis the size of a doggone 12 inches or whatever. And most men, no matter if they built or not, the average penis size when it's erect, most is 6 inches, 6.5 inches. So that's fact. So that's why I don't know why women be tripping. A penis is a penis. Obviously, I know every man ain't gonna have that size or whatever. Again, I didn't see the video. As far as Nelly moaning, I'm like, we not robots, we human. If it's good, I would think the woman want to hear me say something. I mean, even if it's trash, I'm gonna say it's trash. I'm gonna say something, So I mean, it's like, why wouldn't a man? And I think Nelly probably was enjoying it. She that was only 30 seconds from what I'm seeing. So we don't know what happened after that 30 seconds either. Right. I'm sure it probably went to a whole different level. So we don't even know the whole situation.
I think she was fully clothed and he was like Winnie the Pooh. He had like no pants on. So
Okay. But again, it could have went to a whole different level after that video, so we don't know. That just shows you the pressure that men have that women really don't have when it comes to sexual performance, because we're always going to be gauged on how long we last and how big our penis is. And then one of those things we can't change. One of those things we can't change how big our penis is. It is what it is. That's what we're born with.
So let me tell you what my 54 years of wisdom has brought me to a point. I never cared. Tasha, I am Winnie the Pooh. That's how I roll. You know, I don't take my shirt off. I don't want to look at my titties and belly. You know, because she don't want to look at
You
them
know
either.
what, Lee?
So that's how I roll. And my normal thing is spread a towel out in my favorite seat because I like it sloppy wet. And I want her on her knees, and she can take her clothes off if she want to do something to herself. But if I'm just wanting head, I really don't care whether you fingering herself. Keep the clothes on. I don't really give a shit about that, you know, whatever. You have an extra towel, so you know if she want to do something. But my thing is, I am Winnie the Pooh. I'm sitting there, I'm comfortable, got my drink. Now,
Your
I
drink.
personally, oh yeah, I like head in my comfortable chair with a drink in my hand, watching porn. Now, for me, my thing is, I don't know at what point the video was filmed, and we live in an age now where they film everything.
Right.
I could personally care less whether you film me when it's hard, big, whatever. When my dick is inside of your head, do I care whether it's hard or soft? Not really. I don't really care. You know, so you can do whatever you want to do with it. It's in your head. Handle your business. Now, having said that, you know, there was a time, 54, where I would have been considered packing. Now, these new young boys out here, what they feed them, chicken, milk, and eggs, and all that kind of shit, you know, when I looked on my son's phone when he was 14 years old, I didn't know whether to be disturbed or ashamed. His dick was way bigger than mine. So, you know, I was hurt and offended all at the same time in shock. You know, this Bigfoot motherfucker drinking milk every night, and lo and behold, he carrying a monster. And then go figure he likes sucking dick. Go figure that. But okay, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, having said all of that, having said all of that, my thing is I've always been pretty proud of my size. I don't care. My thing is size, length. This new generation, Tosh, you bring up some good points about they don't know their own bodies and whatnot. And so they're judging based on that. And I bring that up for a reason. Hannah, you talked about brilliantly your intent. But here's what you're assuming. You're talking about it because you're only referring to being in a situation with somebody you're involved with, somebody you love, somebody you're with for real, for real. These nasty, filthy, no good bitches is talking about sucking dick indiscriminately. So strangers, 90% of the nasty, filthy, no good bitches that suck my dick, I don't know their name. They was all sweetie and honey. I couldn't tell you what their name was. You know, because I didn't give a shit about their name. The question was, can you suck dick? Are you skilled at sucking dick? Super slow, crazy soft, sloppy wet. And as far as the talking part, the moaning and groaning, I could care less what she's getting out of it. I am thoroughly entertained at my own dick and watching myself. And so, yes, I'm not even talking to her. I'm talking to me. You nasty, no good bitch. Suck that dick. Handle your business. Handle your business, girl. No, stop it right there, you dirty bitch. I'm talking to me. I'm talking about me and what I'm enjoying. I'm turning myself on in hopes that if I'm turning myself on, I hope she's getting something out of it. But at the end of the day, I'm hoping she bring me to where I need to release. And in that moment, it comes down to two questions. Where do you want it? Do you want it clear down the back of your throat where you don't drip a drop, or do you want it all over your filthy, nasty face? That's what I had the rag on the side for. And after that, get up out of here.
I have a
Get up out
question.
of
Like,
here.
are we really like asking that question? Like, men, do you really ask that question, or do you just not automatically
Ask
just
what
know in their
question?
mouth? Where do they want it?
No. Most times they would tell me on the front end, come in my face, you know, and and that's when they will say that. If not, they don't drip a drop. They literally squeeze your dick and squeeze to the last little droplet come out. That's how nasty these no good bitches are.
No, I was only asking because I would just automatically assume, because if it's already in their mouth, why would you pull out and just shoot it anywhere? Just leave it in there.
I've had many of them that say, I want you to come on my face.
Some women don't like that. They don't like it.
And someone will tell you on the front end that, you know, I'm going to do it, but don't come in my mouth.
Yeah, don't, right.
You know, so but so my thing is, I'm assuming you know where you want it. And again, you in control of the situation. Don't bite no teeth. Don't pull back too hard. Handle your business and do it but yes, I'm talking through the whole thing, but I'm not even talking to her. Now I've had those occasions where they want you to say something to them to turn them on. I've had ones that want me to slap them while they do it, spit in their mouth, whatever. I'm with it. Whatever it takes for you to get me to where I need to go. But Nelly, my brother, don't even fret that we have of an age where be proud or whatever it was.
So what was the big uproar with this? I mean, I know
they were talking about his size.
They wanted him to be humongous.
So that was
they wanted him to be Safari.
They wanted him to have a big dick, but then also because he was like, ooh, yeah, like it was more like a sensual moan, like he was enjoying himself. They didn't want him to sound like that.
Now,
did he sound weird or was it?
No,
I mean,
he just sounded like he was just enjoying it.
Oh,
okay. I've had a few
Regular
headmasters that did make me that. I have a headmaster in Millington, Tennessee. If you watching, baby, you always number one in my book. You always number one in my book. Skinny girl, nobody, little old neck, big old water head. But head game was magnificent, the best I ever had in my life. And she was so good at it until she would have me running. So you want to say about she would have the flat bitch in me come out. So I'm pushing her off me.
So you saying a balloon gave you?
She looked like olive oil. She looked like olive oil. She looked exactly. She's a black olive oil. And she had three kids. She actually had 3 kids. So fucking on the pussy, I had to fuck in the ass because the pussy was all tore out the frame. Head game was really magnificent. The best I ever had.
Did he just say tore out the frame?
Oh my God!
You know what, Black?
That's a wallet out.
You know what, Black? It's log off.
I'm just look. I'm just saying, just so Shantae.
I would just say this: if that's not what you're trying to do, if that's not what the ultimate level that you're trying to get someone to reach, what's the point in doing it? It just doesn't make any sense to me. So
I agree, and in this day and age, that's the whole point. So anyway, bless you, Nelly. Ain't nothing wrong with moaning, groaning, my brother. It is what it is. You're supposed to enjoy it. And if she was that good, then hey, you enjoyed it. Anyway, Tasha, she'll be back, I'm sure, for the goodbye. Brother Kenny says it's time to sign off anyway.
No, I'm just trying to figure out what was the big hoopla. I saw the women was having. I guess they was in their feelings because they looked at Nelly as this an Adonis, but again,
it looked like a regular penis though. Like
you're right. Oh, okay. So that's why I'm like, why is it?
You know, people be watching too much of this porn. And they mind is filled with this porn and all this other stuff that's fabricated, or they looking at these.
It's true.
People could be adding extensions or whatever you can see on
now there are some of these young cats out there that really is packing. But Kenny is right. There are some of these young cats out there really is packing. But Kenny is right. When you get down to basic anatomy, real talk, with men collide and everything, the average penis is about 6 inches. That's the God. That's
never rest about his penis ever.
But they also, the same day that Nelly's sex tape, came out, Lil Fizz had. But his dick looked the same. He just had a bigger head on his on his penis. That's it, and it looked more like a mushroom. But he was shamed as well. People shamed him.
Now he should be shamed. Looking like a little mushroom on Mario.
Little C's have a sex tape?
He should be shamed.
Little C's have a sex tape?
Us men, we're never gonna watch this tape.
No,
because we don't really care about whether Little Fizz or Nelly. Bravo, my brother, but I don't know what size you got. And again, I'm not homophobic or nothing like that.
Right.
I'm not rushing to see what side.
I'm done with all humanity. I'm out. Check it out.
Now, I'll end by saying this. You talk about size. I'll end by saying this. I've been in threesomes. I've been in threesomes with me and my boy, and I'm not gonna say which one of my boys. I've been in threesomes with me and my boy. We've done enough threesomes, and he always brought the length, and I brought the width. And the beauty of it was, to your point, Brother Kenny, He shot up the club in a different way I did. He had a long range rifle, and I had a snub nose.
Hey.
But I can tell you what, we both got that job done every time.
Hey, Black, y'all
Every
didn't cross
time.
swords, did y'all?
Huh?
Y'all didn't cross swords, did you?
Why do you want to know?
No, we actually never, and that subject came up about threesomes. So when we did threesomes, the proper way to do a threesome, and I'm gonna end it on this.
Lubu asked a question, Black. Lubu
Huh?
asked you a question. Lubu asked a
No,
question.
this Lubu is making a statement. She said size matters to women.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
That's why I didn't want to go there. That's why I didn't want to go there.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'm gonna end it by saying this. No, we never cross swords. This new generation, the way they do threesomes, the problem is the guys focusing on the other guy's dick. My thing is a proper way to do a threesome. That woman has 3 good, perfectly good holes.
Yes,
3
sir.
perfectly good holes.
Ooh.
And I can tell you, if I'm focused on my boy holes, I'm not doing my job. While he's working one hole, I'm working the other. And that's the proper way to do a threesome, boys and girls. Work on them holes. And then she got 2 useless holes, but you can plug them up too. And nothing wrong with sticking your dick in her ear. But anyway.
Is it Sunday or Friday?
Sante, you know how we get down. This has been another edition of Real Talk for Real Men. And believe it or not, people, this is our light version, just in case you're tuning in for the first time. Sundays is our fun days. This is our light version. We actually don't tackle the serious stuff until Wednesdays. So if this is your first time, I invite you back. Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Now you know kind of what it is. This is part of the panel. We tackle more serious topics on Wednesdays live. We'll be a little more serious. Sundays, we're relaxed. We smoking, we drinking. This is fun. That's true. We still having real talk, but this is very, very relaxed. But at the same time, I hope that we've lived up to your expectation because it is real talk. Real talk. And this is one of the few places. Go ahead, Tasha.
I was just gonna say on Sundays we give you just the tip, and on Wednesday we go deeper. You know,
I like that.
Absolutely. So, in case you don't know, this has been Real Talk for Real Men. Find us on Facebook, find us on YouTube, find us under the banner of TFG TV. We love you, brother Kenny. I'll let you get pub one out on yourself. And
yeah. Most definitely. Make sure you check in the TFG TV. We got shows from Sunday. Basically, we got a show every night of the week.
Every night of the week.
TFG TV.
We got you.
We got you here, my man Black. Keep Real Talk for Real Men on Sundays and Wednesdays, as he said. Then, hey, at 8 o'clock, make sure y'all tune in to Late Night with Lamb Levity on TFG TV at 8 o'clock.
Tonight.
So tonight. Make sure you check him out. On Mondays, TFG Tonight with Brent Haynes. Me and my man Black, we're talking politics, we're talking sports, we're talking whatever's going on in the media. And we're going to probably really talk about this Ukraine-Russia thing.
Yes, sir.
This thing's about to get serious.
Yes, sir.
Keep it real. On Tuesday nights, I got TFG Sports Show on 6:30. Yours truly, I'm the host from 6:30 to 7. And we also got Wisdom and Pearls on Tuesday night with Minister Valerie at 6 p.m. That's on TFG as well. Wednesday, you come back, see my man Black, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be keeping it a little bit more serious on Wednesdays. Thursdays, Forgive Us Later with Lamb Levity, DJ Sullivan, and Charles Moore on Thursdays. Then on Fridays and Saturdays, my man Lamb Levity, he does Real Estate Insider. He does celebrity homes and do live with different guests. So we got a lot going on here at TFG TV every day of the week. We got something for you, so come check us out.
Absolutely. We appreciate you. Lou, come join us each time. We thank you. We appreciate you. Love you for your support. Please like the show, share and comment, and please invite other friends and family members as well. Tasha is my host. Sister Hannah, she's got a forthcoming cookbook, I believe, in the works coming in the future. She has her own YouTube channel, Shafana. Check her out. Baddest cook on the freaking planet right there. Baddest cook on the planet.
Don't get it twisted.
That's real.
She's a chef, not a cook.
A real chef, right.
Let's go on get it fun. Let's go on keep it funky.
Deal.
She's
real
a
deal.
There's a difference between a chef and a cook. She ain't just
She's
throwing no
real.
doggone. She ain't just throwing no doggone pig feet
No,
and
no, no.
some doggone fat back in the doggone
Be on the
pot.
lookout. No, her shit is real.
She gets. Oh, okay. See, you know what?
Be on the
talking to you.
lookout.
That's all right.
She's
Go
got a
for it.
cookbook. She's got a cookbook coming soon. So check us out. Stay with us. But again, I hope we brought a
I
little
need
bit
y'all to
of.
introduce me when I do my event.
There you go. We got you.
You know I
We
got
got
you.
you.
You know I
We
got
got you. And so I hope we brought a little bit of levity to your Sunday. So whether you consider this and on the tail end of your weekend or the beginning of your week, either way, we hope we've made you laugh, have a little bit of fun, and we want you to enjoy what's left of your Sunday. And until next time, everybody peace and always keep it real.
Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your night.